When we are living in the age of internet, everything goes on YouTube right away, and then you have Bhangra beats. So you definitely must have received a response from people who have started using your DVD to keep themselves in shape.
Yeah.
What has been the response?
The response actually has been bigger than I thought, and especially geographically speaking. When I first put this DVD together, I thought it would be mostly local, mostly in the US, because that's primarily what it's targeting, especially my website and Amazon and all that. But actually I ended up seeing a lot of orders coming in from outside the US, and countries I would never imagine. You know, you think of Norway, Australia, countries in Africa, just countries you never really thought of, and I was surprised, oh wow, there's an interest out there for Bhangra beats. And so it really gives to kind of show me that there's really this, there are certain isolated regions where they don't have the exposure that we do, or have the flexibility of the exposure that we do here in the US, or countries like the UK, that really want something like this. So immediately I realized this isn't just something that my students here locally, whether it's in Washington, D.C., New York, or in the U.S. in general, are looking for, but even more so, it's something internationally that they're looking for. And so, you know, with that, I've received a lot of positive comments back saying, you know, thank you very much for putting something like this together, giving me the opportunity to, you know, experience and learn something from my culture. When I say my culture, I mean obviously your traditional culture, and just, you know, really having the opportunity to get exposed to this kind of stuff.
You know, many times in good old days, parents used to be scared if kids take interest in things which are not primarily connected to their study. That means they are doing something drastically wrong. In your case, of course, things are different now, but still, when you were paying so much attention to Bhangra or dance, etc., how was the response at home?
It was difficult, you know. Of course, studies were number one, always study. And so when I was spending a lot of time, or started spending a lot of time with, in those days, Dhamaka, and really spending a lot of time traveling and putting on shows and whatnot, my parents were worried about my studies, but it's a good balance. I was able to maintain my grades and whatnot. And I think in time, especially now, as you know, my parents have seen kind of the success, as you call it, of Bhangra Beats, and kind of the positive impact more so that it's having on people, I think now they're really beginning to appreciate all the time and work I put in at that time. But again, like you said, you know, I think it is changing a little bit now, where parents especially as this first generation, second generation is really growing up, are really beginning to appreciate the arts more so. And you know, my parents were always a big fan of the arts. I grew up playing tabla, learned classical Indian singing. Dance, you know, is starting to kind of come in that pattern of people are really beginning to appreciate what it has to offer. And you see it now. Just about 2 months ago, I realized that now in high schools, they have Bhangra teams. Okay, these are local high schools in the U.S. They have Bhangra teams and their own Bhangra competitions now. And so in just 5 years, we went from just having a few major competitions in college to now high schools around the country having their own. So it's really growing and picking up fast. And I think parents, and of course my generation, are really going to appreciate and really enjoy what it has to offer.
So now you have two roles in typical Jay Patel's life. One, you have, let's say 9 to 5 or whatever, as an engineer you are working, and then you are coach here.
Yeah, so during my day I am a consultant. I work for a major global technology firm, and then, you know, whenever I have free time, I'm dancing basically, whether it's teaching classes, whether I'm just studying, learning the latest moves, performing with different friends at various venues around the area and whatnot, or just, you know, really just sharing my passion with different artists. In fact, the music in the DVD, and if you go to the website, again, it's up there, bhangrabeats.org, you'll hear the music is actually from an up-and-coming artist based out of New Jersey himself. So again, similarly, he's coming up from the music aspect of it. So really, like I said, our goal really in this isn't really necessarily to go out and make a lot of money, but really expose others to kind of this culture that we appreciate, that we get enjoyment out of, and hopefully help spread that here as it's really beginning to pick up.
So it's just music or singing also in your DVD while you are dancing?
Well, there is. So the artist himself is a singer / musician. So he works with his own crew to put together different songs. So the music you hear is a combination of both music and song. And I think that's kind of that's a good question, because it's really sometimes the words, whether you understand it or not, you really feel it. That also help kind of pump you up. And that's why it's perfect for a workout. And especially the music that I've chosen with him, especially, it's really upbeat, perfect for, you know, this fusion of high energy, hip hop / Bhangra / whatever you want to call it, kind of fusion of type of workout. So it really gets you excited to do this type of stuff.
What is the name of the artist?
His name's actually Jaideep.
Yeah. And while you are dancing, especially in Bhangra, etc., many times you come across people making some sort of a noise which is adding to the energy level and sort of. In your DVD also you have
we allow different types of things like balle balle, bruas, hoi hois. So again, and that's something in my classes, my students love doing that. You know, they love, again, it's a way for you to release, right? You're there to work out, have fun, but also release, just enjoy yourself. So you'll hear classic Bhangra sounds like that all the time. It's in my DVD, it's in my classes, and in fact I encourage people, really just let it out, you know, really have fun.
You know, many of us have so much interconnectedness with Bhangra and Punjabi language also that sometimes it's kind of strange feeling to see someone who actually is neither from Punjab nor, can you speak Punjabi?
I cannot.
You cannot speak Punjabi, but he has this Bhangra beats, and then people who are taking advantage of this Bhangra beats, they probably do not know much about India as much as you know, and you are part of India. But so this is sort of a universal thing that we are in as a global village now, especially in the cultural field also. Talking about the singing interest that you had, you said you were learning classical singing. So have you continued to pursue that too?
No, I mean, I haven't continued pursuing that. One thing I learned very early on is it's difficult to do everything at once, right? And so you really have to pick and choose where your interests truly lie. And as I said, it was really in college where I decided that this is really where I have the most fun. This is really my passion, what I really want to pursue. And so I really specifically focused on the dance part of it. Now I do still teach tabla on the side, and again that's because I love rhythm, and rhythm is really a part of dance as it is. But again, a lot of my focus is primarily on dance, and specifically now Bhangra beats, because that's really what I enjoy and really what I want to promote and get out there.
Meeting Jay means you have some sort of special manifestation of energy, and which of course is seen in his DVD, and people who learn from him the workout as well as dance. So there is a fusion of the two aspects right there. Also the life itself has the overlapping of culture. You have a different sort of understanding of cultural aspect at home, and then in your college you see it differently. So now how you feel in terms of acceptability of the so-called Indian touch or ethnic kind of brand image that most of us carry with us. Do you think the degree with which the acceptability is on the way to rise, and it has increased manifold?
Absolutely, I believe so. I think just as you pointed out before, just a Gujarati like me being able to come out and put something out that's really, if you think about Punjabi at its very roots, you know, Bhangra came from Punjab as a form of celebration of Vaisakhi, right? Which is very Punjabi in culture. But being able to be a Gujarati, come up in the US, being able to put this out and gain not just acceptance, but kind of a respect, just shows that everyone's really open. It's this whole, you know, global phenomenon where everyone's really open to different cultures and learning about different cultures. And I think it has to be worked both ways, where we ourselves have to be willing to let others come in and really appreciate our culture. And then the last thing is really, you know, I haven't grown up in Punjab, but then again, I've never grown up in Gujarat either, right? So you could say I'm Gujarati or I'm Punjabi, but really I'm American, because this is where I've grown up. And I've had influences equally, both of Gujarati from my family, and then Punjabi from all my friends who have done Bhangra with, or whose families I've visited or stayed at. And so really it's this willingness to just accept everyone and kind of also be willing to share with everyone. And so I think it's really on the rise, especially like you said, you know, as it gains more widespread popularity, and you see more and more, forget just desis, but non-desis doing it, right? So it's really, I think it's an acceptance thing. I think everyone's really coming to really appreciate that and really take advantage of it, as we've seen with Jai Ho and Slumdog Millionaire, right?
So Jai Ho song in a way is celebrating Jai Patel also, because Jai kind of sounds similar.